Evening. It's the Willows Planning Commission special meeting tonight, January 21st, 2026. We're at Willows City Hall and the time is 6:01 p.m. Call the meeting to order. I'd like to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge.
Pledge allegiance. Flag. The Republic.
Roll call.
Commissioner Quorum,
Here.
Commissioner Nygaard,
Here.
Commissioner McNeil,
Here.
Commissioner Brott.
Here.
Thank you.
Item 4, changes to the agenda. Are there any changes?
There are none.
Thank you. Item 5, public comment and consent calendar forum. All items on the consent calendar are considered routine and may be approved with a single vote unless removed for separate discussion by the chair and commissioners. Individuals wishing to speak on consent items or matters not on the agenda are asked to complete a speaker card and submit it to the city clerk. All remarks shall be directed to the chair and commissioners are limited to 3 minutes. By law, the commission cannot discuss or take action on items not listed on the posted agenda. Is there anyone here that would like to speak on item 5? Seeing no one. Item 6, the discussion and action calendar. All matters on the discussion and action calendar will be discussed and acted on individually. Individuals wishing to speak on these items are asked to complete a speaker card and submit it to the city clerk. Comments should be directed to the chair and commissioners and are limited to 3 minutes. By law, the commission cannot discuss or take action on items not listed on the posted agenda. 6A, elect the chair and vice chair. Recommended action, accept nominations and elect a chair and vice chair to preside over the Planning Commission for the 2026 calendar year.
Chair, I would like to nominate Keith for the chair.
I second the motion.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I'll switch.
Okay, we'll switch.
Make it a friend.
Neither one of us have to go far.
Would you like your coat? There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, you're really gonna make it official, huh? Where's yours? Oh,
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
well, thank you for your confidence in me. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sherry, for the year that you've given us. I don't know, were you only the 1 year? Have you been the chair before?
No, never.
Never?
Yeah.
Okay, but you did a good job. I'll say that. We got through every meeting with no problems.
Huh.
Well, we did. We're always learning, so that's not a problem. We have to elect a vice chair also. So nominations are open for the vice chair.
Chair, I nominate Michael for the vice chair.
I'll second that.
Okay. See, it's so easy. We have a nomination for Michael to be the vice chair. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations, Michael. You are now the vice chair.
Thank you.
Our next item is the 6B, wayfinding sign design final approval. Staff?
Good evening, Commissioners. Joe Betancourt, Community Development and Services Director. I just want to start off by saying, again, thanks to Commissioner Brott for being the chair for this last year, and congratulations to Commissioner McNeil and Quorum on their new appointments. And again, thanks to Commissioner Brott for coming back to the Planning Commission. We do appreciate you guys' commitment. And I'll note now, and at the end of the meeting, we do have an open vacancy at this point still, so we'll go ahead and reopen applications up. So anybody out there in the virtual world or that you guys know that would be interested, feel free to throw that out to them, and we'll have that online probably by the end of the week. All right, on to wayfinding signs. So at our last meeting, which seems like a year ago now, on December 2nd, we looked at 2 renditions of the wayfinding signs, and the Planning Commission made recommendations to combine the looks of the two trees that we had in the upper left-hand corner to incorporate kind of the base of one and the leaves of another. So this design reflects that in both mock-ups. And then the only other comment we heard was to come back with both mock-ups, one showing kind of the more narrow bending swoosh, I'll call it, and the other one a thicker swoosh color. And Carlene, if you can pull those up on the monitor, I know it's hard to see in your printouts there. I can give you a little better. And so with this item, once we get them up on the screen, we'll show them to you. And if you guys are good with either one of the designs, we'll go ahead and proceed. And if you have additional
Sorry.
comments, we can address those in the design itself as well. Keep talking. So, and then with this design, our next step would be to purchase these signs. Feel we've got enough funding, we'll get a revised quote once it's finalized to do the antique looking poles. And then we'll also look to purchase the downtown parking signs, and those will be in a very similar design as this, except they'll say welcome to historic downtown or the current language on there instead of having the directional signage. We're also looking at replacing the historic 99 signs that are placed, I believe, in 2 locations on Tehama Street that are pretty faded out. So those are kind of the main goals of upgrading. So the first design that we had incorporated the new tree, and this one has the thicker swoosh on it. There we go. Kind of a thicker, and then you can see on the bottom piece, it's got a more of a shimmer gold to it. Go down, yep, and a thinner line through it. And that was kind of and like I said, the tree. Hopefully, it came out as you imagined, which was a combination of the original base, I think, with the new leaves on it. So with that, I'll take any questions, modifications, or recommendations on this item.
Okey-doke. Thank you. Sherry, do you have any comments?
What are you looking for? I mean, I think I have a favorite. I think I like the one with the thicker line, just because when I saw it up there, I think if you're seeing it on the road, you'll notice it more maybe than a thinner line.
A good point.
I personally don't care for this one because the tree looks kind of faded and washed out a little bit. I think they're all nice.
I agree. I think the one with the thicker band would be more eye catching in a vehicle. I think the better choice.
Okay. Robin?
I do agree. I like the tree on this one. I like this swoosh. That's what you want to call it, but I really do wish it was little. Because I think I agree with the other commissioners that it stands out a little bit. And then I have a question about, was the tree actually on the gold when we first talked about it, on the swoosh line? Or,
I think it was.
okay. I wasn't sure. It's been a minute.
And in his so he did his own kind of renditions and mock-ups, and that's when it got adjusted to a different location, I believe. And I don't have that up there, but I think it was the direction to go back more of back to the original on the mock-ups. So I think he had adjusted some things, and it was decided to go back to having it closer in line like the original was, and just work on those.
In the print that we have, it is that one with the tree in the gold. We don't have, you showed one earlier with the tree is up from the gold.
Right.
That was the go all the way down, Carlene, to the third.
I like it in the gold. I don't know about other people. It just looks like the roots are being carried on. Yeah, that one in the gold. So
I think that's what's throwing me off.
So
Yes.
the third
I
one
like-
would be one was like an original, and then the first two are what we came back with off of your recommendations. So we basically took the base of the tree and then added the different leaves. So 1 and 2 were the redesigns based off of the third
Okay.
attachment.
So which one's one? That one?
Thick swoosh.
The
Mhm.
thick one is one.
This-
Okay. And the other one is two.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I like the swish more than I do the heavier line, but I would agree with Michael that it does stand out, and especially if you're driving, you may not even see the smaller swish. So if that's the commission's prerogative, then I'll go along with
I
it.
do have one question though. Can they make that swish onto thicker? Or would it not?
So
look the
if we did go up to number 1 again, Carlene, so I can keep it in my head. So if we basically, all right, go down to 2 now. I got it locked in. So basically add a little more curvature and maybe that gold color.
And I
we-
don't,
I'm
Don't-
open to all ideas. I'm probably not going to bring it back if it's that minor, but we can blend different ideas of making it
It-
look like that, but making it the thickness of the
Thicker.
top one.
just
thicken it.
because I think that when it goes under willows, it gives a little gap, which I think, because on the thicker one, Arlene, if you scroll back up to the top one, it just
Rides across
goes
it.
right under willows. And I think it kind of, unless they can drop it down, but then you would have to move the tree. So I think that swoosh gives it a little breathing room and kind of adds to it.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
I think it's a great idea just to do the swish, only make that line a
little
little
thicker.
heavier, a little
Yeah.
thicker. What do you guys think?
I mean,
I like this one better.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, yeah. I think it looks more eye appealing.
Yeah, the thing I like about the first one better is the way the roots are on the line. How the
Right.
on number 2, you've got roots partly on the line and then partly in the void.
Mm-hmm. So would you want a thicker swish, or you want to stay with the example 1?
Personally, like the straighter line.
Okay.
But-
Well, I would
Doesn't
hate
get
to
in my way,
have
but-
him bring it back again. Yeah. You know, we can beat a horse to death up here, and it's probably not going to make any difference to anybody driving by. They won't know all of the
Yeah.
struggles and time we spent on it.
Yeah, I will say my preference is number 1 as is.
Okay.
I would agree with that.
I will go with the majority.
Yeah, I will too, because otherwise, if we vote on it, it might end up 2-2, which is a no. So, by consensus, we all agree that we'll go with number 1.
Perfect. Thank you.
So that'll get off of your chair, off of your plate, I mean. You won't have that to do anymore.
Off the plate and onto the street. That's
Yes, onto the streets. Any other questions?
Just have one more question, because I know, and I should have brought it with me, but the map and the sizes of everything, that's all, we've got that all figured out about what size the signs are going to be. And
So originally looking at the poles, we've got 12-foot poles, 14-foot poles, and kind of matching them to the sign, or 10-foot poles. What I'd like to do is kind of get the metal cut out and do a configuration that we think, I don't want it to be absurdly big. It's got to be legible.
Right.
Initially, it was kind of in my head about like bigger is better. And as I kind of start looking around, it's got to fit, right? It's got to be, it's got to work. It can't be this detraction, I guess. You want people to see it, but you want it to be noticeable and good look. So I think we're going to play around with that and try to find something that works. The basic layout will be obviously the same in the theme, but how big of a pole we go to how big of a sign we go. We've got standards that we can use for something being legible, but a stop sign being legible versus something with a lot of writing on it, we may go lower font to make it look more natural in the surroundings. So we will take that all into consideration for sure.
Will the paint on this be reflective?
So we haven't really got into that step of it. Probably will have some reflectivity to it as in a gloss sense, but wouldn't be like a honeycomb reflectivity that you would see on a street sign, that prismatic piece to it. So Normally, I think we have the ability to kind of make it a sheen, a gloss type layer on top, but it won't be engineer grade type
Okay.
reflectivity that you'd see on a sign.
I don't think it has to be that
Yep.
way. So I was just curious to know. Okay, are we through with this?
I have one more question if I could. Joe, we talked about the sign that there may be some money left over for a decorative pole.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think,
still in
yeah,
consideration?
I think we're going to be able to do that. So I priced them, and I've actually found them cheaper since I originally priced them, mainly on shipping because the first ones were out of Texas. And they're big poles. But yeah, they're a classic. It's pretty much a 4 or 6 inch pole, and it just goes over the top of an existing pole. So you
Oh,
basically
perfect.
set your pole there, and then this goes over, and you bolt it through the pole, and then it's got an antique base to it, and then an antique top to it.
That's going to look nice.
Yeah. So and they're kind of corrugated
Yeah.
kind of style.
I know,
But
yeah.
yeah. No, they're good looking. Yeah, and they'll go right over the top. That way you've got it mounted with your regular pole, and then that just sits right over the top of it.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Okay. We're on item number 7, comments and reports. Anybody on the commission want to make a comment or a report?
I have none.
Thank you for all the work to the committee that worked on the signs. I know it's been several months, so it's nice to have this done. So I'd like to do that. I'd like to say happy birthday to the city of Willows. And I'm happy to be back, so thank you.
I have no comments.
Well, I have one comment, and I want it to be public. I want to thank the city and whoever's behind it for the new street signs, because they are reflective and you can easily see them. They're a little bit bigger than the previous ones, which I think is better. So I approve. I enjoy them, especially at night, because they're reflective. Even though I've lived here a long time, there are still some streets that I'm not quite sure where they are. So anybody else want to chime in on?
I will chime in. I have noticed lately that the communication and the activities and the projects that the city has been doing has just been fantastic. And I think that the community is really appreciating the activity, the effort. So I think that's fantastic. So thank you for that.
Any comments to add to that? Okay, one more item. I want to thank staff, and I know you were there, and for the 140th birthday party. I guess that's what we'd call it. That was here. This room was packed, and nobody was objecting about anything that I heard.
It's very peaceful.
But having done those kinds of things, I know a lot of work went into it, and you're probably, Arlene, one of the main people on it.
Yes.
But excellent and a wonderful turnout from our community. So the only negative comment I heard was from an individual who was told they could park in the back in the handicap area, and there was a sawhorse up and they couldn't get in. So they had to park in the front and find something relatively close, which they did. But they use one of the walkers on wheels. So it made it much more difficult for that individual. So when we do the 150th, maybe you'll still be
Thanks,
around to remember. Okay, staff comments and reports.
We just want to thank you all, like I said, again, for your time. Thanks for the compliments on everything. The street signs, going out, designing those, not much of a design, but we got them. And it's like, when you finally see them, like, okay, I feel like these look good. So that was a big weight off of my shoulders. And yes, Carlene, thank you for the 140th birthday party. Tremendous amount of work that Carlene does outside of planning all these great things, and then does things that I could never do in a million years. Right. So it was awesome. And thanks to the community for coming out. Thanks to all of you for coming out. It was really enjoyable. It was a good time, and it was good to see that many people out there. I'll go through just a quick recap here. On December 4th, we did hold our municipal code public meeting. We didn't have a ton of turnout from the public. We had a Harrison Associates there. They did take input from the individuals that were there. They're gonna take that input, start creating a draft document at this point. And then we'll be back out for public comment, or at least public meetings through city council and the plan further. So that's still alive and moving. It's a little update on Chevron that you guys recently approved the lot merger for. They are getting through their traffic study with Caltrans. And they did have one comment come back on their initial traffic study. And that was to verify that the basically maneuverability of commercial trucks was adequate for that area to the Caltrans standards. They revised their traffic study and submitted to Caltrans. And so now we'll see what Caltrans has to say about potential improvements, right? So we could see streetlights, we could see nothing, we could see widening the road. But that is something that could potentially come into play out there. And then other than that, we're back on schedule with our planning commission meetings being the first Tuesday. One item that we will have coming up will be a conditional use permit for a used car dealership. And that will be an indoor garaged kind of car dealership on 201 South Tehama. So we've got those documents. We're going to get those to you as early as possible. The drafts are pretty much done. I'm going to give them a look over and shoot them out for you guys to review, and then we'll get that in the final agenda. Just got that item. And then again, I'll reiterate that we do have a vacancy for planning commissioner. We'll go ahead and repost the application. If you guys know anybody that's interested, please send them our way, and love to have another member of the community on to finish that. And that concludes my updates.
Well, since I talked to you, I want the other commissioners to also be aware, update us on the abandoned car situation, since Orland and the county are involved in it, and you said the city of Willows would be involved in it.
Yep. So this goes to vehicle abatement funding, and vehicles that get abandoned on the side of the road. There's a fund for it that'll pay for those expensive pieces. We've recently had a nice pink trailer dumped over by North Valley Indian Health. But all three of the agencies need to participate in that. So Orland and Glenn County have passed their resolutions to participate in that program, and Willows will be having theirs coming on the city council meeting to get it approved. And that allows us to access funds, I believe, to the state and the CHP to, once we tow these, to be reimbursed for the cost of towing them, which in the case of the Big Pink Monster and other large RVs is quite a lot. So that is something to get a handle on and be able to not hit our general fund with towing those items off.
Well, it's interesting. There is $300,000 in that fund, and the state won't give us any more until that is spent. And the fund is funded through some of the gasoline tax, I think.
Yeah.
There's a certain portion that the county and the communities get. So it's not for a lack of funding. It was what you said. So
Administrative.
it was administrative. They were getting all the ordinances compliant and worded the same, so
Correct.
they could do it.
Yep.
And I appreciate that.
It's a great resource to have, and unfortunately, the more rural you are in smaller community, the more this is a thing.
Yes.
So it's nice to have funding to take care of that.
Okay. If there is no other business, and there isn't, I will adjourn.